Liverpool 7, Manchester United 0. Liverpool 7, Manchester United 0. Wow, I am speechless. That was an incredible performance, incredible result, amazing game. Couldn't have gone any better for Liverpool today. Every time I see the score out of the corner of my eye, it's almost like I have to do a double take to make sure that it's actually real. And today, this is why we love Liverpool. This is why we go through the pain, why we watch all the games. For moments like this, it makes everything worth it. And it is insane how quickly football changes. On just a month ago, February 4th, I think it was, Liverpool lost 3-0 away to Wolves. And it just felt like things were going from bad to worse. But since then, in the league, in the last 5 games, Liverpool have won 4 of those, haven't allowed a goal, and have scored 13. So that's an aggregate scoreline of 13-0 in their last 5 games. And well and truly, Liverpool are on the up now. We are seeing a proper push. We are seeing a team reminiscent of what we expect from a Klopp Liverpool team. And my God, it feels so good. And you have to say, Liverpool have had, as bad as we've been for large parts of the season, we've had some great results this year. We beat Man City. We beat Napoli at home, who are 15 points clear in Serie A. We're the only team to beat Newcastle away from home. We beat Spurs away from home. And now we've stuffed Manchester United 7-0. It's their joint biggest loss in like 90 years or something crazy. Incredible. Liverpool lost 5-2 at home to Real Madrid a few weeks ago. And in that game, it just kind of felt like everything went in for Real. They only had 6 shots on target and they scored 5. Today was a bit of a flip reverse of that in Liverpool's favour. In terms of shots, Liverpool had 18, United had 8. And Liverpool only, out of the 18, they had 8 on target and scored 7. So as amazing as the finishing was, it was a bit of an anomaly sort of game where everything Liverpool hit seemed to hit the back of the net. And the expected goals told the same story. Liverpool had an expected goals of 3.44 and they scored 7. So that means that today, Liverpool scored twice the number of goals from the shots they created that an average striker would have in the Premier League. Manchester United only had an XG of 0.84. And this is what we've seen in a lot of Liverpool's recent games. We're starting to get more dominant performances in, convincing expected goals, underlying numbers, which is important because it shows you that most times out of 10, if we perform like that, we're going to win. Earlier on in the season, the expected goals was often pretty even, or maybe we'd have a slight advantage on it. But that's why the results seem like more of a coin flip. Now the performances, the actual underlying performances are starting to show dominance. And that's when you have a team that can push for top 4 and ultimately for a title. Out of that 3.44 expected goals, Liverpool had only actually generated 1 in expected goals after the first half. So that means it was nearly 2.5 in the second, which really shows you how the game swung. It was pretty even in the first half by and large, and United arguably, they had the ball in the back of the net with a disallowed header from Casemiro. Liverpool more had half chances, and United could have definitely gotten the score sheet. The game, it was really when Liverpool scored the first goal that things started to move in their favour and momentum seemed to build. And the interesting thing about today was that a lot of the talk before the game was of how Liverpool have been mentally fragile this season. And that if United had scored first, we might have seen Liverpool collapse. But it actually ended up being the other way around. And the talk about United had been how mentally strong they've been. They've been coming back quite a lot recently. They came back against Barcelona multiple times. So it seemed like if anyone was going to collapse after conceding the first goal, that it would have been Liverpool. But the opposite happened. And we really have been due more games where Liverpool have been clinical. I looked at the expected goals table of all the Premier League teams this season, and Liverpool have one of the worst performances in the entire league. Prior to this game, they had actually scored almost 10 goals less than their expected goals total was, which means that the average team would have actually scored 10 goals more at this point this season than Liverpool had. And a lot of that has been down to Salah and Núñez missing a lot of big chances. But I hope this is a good sign. Today, both of them getting 2 goals, and I hope this is going to be the turnaround. And it's been one of the main factors for Liverpool's change in fortunes. It's not just been the defence, that's been a big part of it. Starting to keep clean sheets, starting to concede less clear-cut chances, that's been fundamental to Liverpool's improvement. But at the same time, though, another huge factor has been that Liverpool's forwards have finally started to click. They've started to have games where they have 1 shot, 1 goal. And goals change games, and this has made a massive difference to Liverpool and their confidence. When the team sheet came out, I have to say I was a bit surprised not to see Bajcetic start. He has been a key part of the midfield, getting more balance in recent games, being more combative, more challenges going in, showing more energy. And to have Harvey Elliott in instead, who off the ball hasn't been good this season, was surprising. And it did make me a little bit worried. But aside from one very poor pass from Harvey Elliott in the first half that led to actually a good chance from United, aside from that, Elliott was excellent today. He put in so much running. He got an assist for Núñez's goal. And I think he showed more positional discipline than he has in recent games. Earlier on in the season, he's been playing on the right side of the midfield 3. And whenever we have the ball funnel out to the right, he tends to hug the touchline and try to move up the pitch to be involved with Salah. And he did do that at times today, but I think he also kept the position in the centre of the park more, which was really important because he's there, he's more likely to clean up on some loose balls. And he was putting in more challenges. And this is vital because when he consistently moves up the pitch with Salah and you've also got Trent moving on, that's why our right side has been so vulnerable this season. So I think that little positional switch was very important. And as the game wore on, he was involved in multiple nice 1-2 moments, in intelligent use of the ball, made some very good passes. And he was showing that he is a good footballer, what he is capable of. I still think there's a lot of room for improvement from him. Of course, he's only 19, but today was a really strong step in the right direction from Elliott. In terms of the game itself, Liverpool started off really strongly. That first 10 or 15 minutes, we showed great energy, putting a foot in. United found it really difficult to build out from the back at all or to put passes together. And we created nothing super clear cut, but there were some decent half chances. We started the game well. United did grow into the game though in that first half. And as I said, they had a few opportunities to score. Liverpool were the better side in the first half, but in terms of opportunities, it was pretty balanced. And the game really swung when Liverpool scored that first goal. Robertson did incredibly well for the first goal. Progressed the ball up the field, played a brilliant ball behind the fullback into Gakpo. I mean, his first touch was first class and the second was quality into the bottom corner. And I do think that just shows you Gakpo's quality playing off that left-hand side. It's obviously where he's been so successful for PSV. And you do wonder sometimes, are we missing out on that natural ability he has to cut in on his right foot when we have him playing in the centre? Now, he did show good quality in the centre of the park as well, linking up play too. And we know that Núñez doesn't really have the technical ability to do that. But I can't help but feel at times that having Núñez on the left and Gakpo in the centre, we're missing out on some of both players' biggest qualities, playing them both out of position. That first goal really did come at a great time just before halftime. And the second goal, same. Scored so quickly after the break. Elliott with the assist to Núñez. It was an excellent pass. It reminded me a lot of Van Dijk's goal against Wolves last week from Jota's pass, except on the opposite side. But it's these short crosses. Instead of just chipping the ball into the area, they almost ping the ball right at the forward's head, so they barely had to move. It's really high quality play. And I was so happy again for Núñez getting the goal. He got 2 today and fully deserved. Both headers. His second goal as well was a fantastic header. Henderson with a nice ball in. And Núñez with a brilliant flick into the far corner. It was a quality goal. I absolutely loved Gakpo's second goal as well. Salah just rolled back the years. He hasn't been beating a lot of men one-on-one this season, but he put Martinez on his ass, did fantastically well. Brilliant ball through to Gakpo. And I loved that little chipped finish on De Gea. He was so close in, but he did brilliantly. And I am delighted for him. Gakpo now has 4 goals for Liverpool, and you can just see his confidence growing. To score 2 against United and 1 at the Cop End, it does feel like he's going from strength to strength. And I couldn't be happier for him. I was delighted to see Firmino getting the score sheet too. What a player he's been for Liverpool. It was announced this week that he's going to leave Liverpool at the end of the season on a free transfer. And I got to say, I personally would have liked to keep him. I know we've got 6 forwards and his game time's been reduced, but he's still one of our top scorers this season, even though he's been injured quite a lot. And he would have been useful to have as a squad player. But he's been an incredible servant for Liverpool. There's no doubt about it. Delighted to see him get the goal. And then you got to say, Mo Salah, he was man of the match today. 2 goals, 2 assists, and 2 right-footed goals as well, which doesn't happen too frequently for him. The first one, fantastic. I mean, I've been waiting for him to score a goal like that, where he just blasts it, hits the crossbar net, like emphatically hits the back of the net. He's had a lot of weak finishes this season, and he just hasn't really been converting at the rate that he used to. The amazing thing about Salah is that as poor as his finishing seems like it is this season, he's definitely missed a lot of big chances. He still has 22 goals in all competitions. Albeit he scored in the Charity Shield, in the League Cup, FA Cup, so it's been scattered. He scored quite a few in the Champions League. It's mostly the league goals that have been down. But overall, there's still months of the season left. He's already got 22. It just shows you how high the bar is, how high his standards are, that we still feel like there's so much more from Salah to give. But he was absolutely top class today, no doubt about it. The finishing was just ruthless. It was clinical today. Every shot seemed to hit the back of the net. Hopefully we can keep that up. As a whole, the entire team played well today. I thought Konate was a rock at the back. So was Van Dijk. Rashford's arguably the most informed player in the world right now. He had a few half chances, but by and large, we kept them pretty quiet. Robertson was brilliant at left back. Fabinho looked back to his best. This is going to be critical for us. If we can keep Fabinho playing the way we know he can, it makes a huge difference to the team. Henderson was everywhere. I mean, he put in such a shift today, Jordan Henderson. Elliott, as I said, played really well. And I got to give special mention to Trent. I've been so critical of him this season, particularly for his defensive work. But today, again, Rashford was more playing in the centre, which might have helped Trent. He wasn't one-on-one against him. But Trent played extremely well. Defensively, very solid. Showed a lot of quality on the ball with his passing, with his movement. And I guess part of the reason we're so hard on him, or I'm so hard on him, is because he has so much ability. And a lot of the things that we criticize him for are seemingly the more straightforward parts of football, like tracking back, being switched on, concentration. But when you see the quality that he possesses in a game like this and how well he can do defensively, I mean, he is a really, really top player. And there was a moment in the second half where Rashford looked like he was running through on goal and Trent made a last-ditch sliding tackle. He had to win it or it would have been a penalty and potentially a sending off. But he won that ball and helped keep the clean sheet for Liverpool today. So it was an outstanding performance from him. Again, overall, amazing, amazing result. If this can't kickstart Liverpool's season, nothing will. And the table is starting to look so much better. We are just 3 points behind Spurs now with a game in hand, and Spurs are sitting in 4th. So suddenly, after a month ago, it felt like Champions League football was out of the question. But now, you could argue we're favourites for it, based on what Liverpool are capable of. It looks like we're putting a run together. We're starting to keep clean sheets. We're starting to click from an attacking perspective. And in one hand, you have to think, as bad as we've been this season, we're still in the running for 4th. And that means that if we do play anywhere near what we're capable of, it's going to be hard to stop us. Now, we've got Bournemouth next weekend. Need to get 3 points in that game, because the next 3 fixtures consecutively in the Premier League are very, very difficult. It's away to City, away to Chelsea, and then at home to Arsenal. 3 big games. But if we can keep this kind of performance level up, my God, this could be an incredible turnaround from Klopp this season. Anyway, what did you make of Liverpool's performance today? Let me know in the comments below. I'm looking forward to reading it. And I will see you in the next video.